What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk. My name is Richard. Great to have you guys back on this week's episode. Today, I have two very special guests for me on today's show, Simon and Samuel Sangary. God bless you guys. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Good to have you guys on the show today. For those that don't know who you guys are, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
We are two brothers. We actually work on music together, writing original music, and we go by the title of Sangary Brothers. It's our last name, but we've been doing it for a couple of years now, and we're really thankful for everything God has done through the whole journey. So it's been a great time.
Well, we're twin brothers, actually. We're not identical. We're fraternal twins, so that's why we look a little bit different. But yeah, we're just thankful, for the opportunity to share, God's love through music, and I'm thankful for the songs that He's given us, and that is something that we do. And we're both currently in Stockton, California. It's funny that we're speaking for each other right now, but that's what twins do. That's what twins do. You're not really like an individual sometimes. You're just, like a package, but that's all I'm going to say.
All right, man. Awesome, guys. You guys mentioned you guys write music, original music that worship God. Let's start from the very beginning. Where did that passion begin? Was it with instruments, singing, and whose idea was it to say, "Hey, let's just start recording music"?
When we were like, maybe just 5 years old, we grew up going to a Spanish church, apostolic church, in downtown Miami. Our mom, she would always sign us up to do like a special every Sunday. Maybe not every Sunday, but just, kind of often. And she would teach us a song in Spanish, and we didn't know what we were singing, but we would just, sing the words that she taught us, and just sing in Spanish. My brother and my sister and I actually too. We were a trio back then, and we would sing in church when we were just little kids. And then just growing up in church, we were always involved in music. And when we were 8 years old, we were put into piano lessons by our dad. He just decided that he wanted us to go ahead and learn an instrument. And we actually ended up, liking it. But then kind of for some years, didn't really touch music, didn't do much until we turned about like 14. And we both learned how to play the guitar. By that time, we were more into music and getting more involved in, like, for example, our youth ministry. My brother and I both were, given the opportunity to lead the worship band for the youth services. And eventually, when we were like 17, 18, that's when we started writing songs. And that's where, we're here now. And, thankfully, we've been able to put music out for quite a while. So
Simon, bro, a question for you, man. So again, you guys started this process, young age, 17, you guys started writing. For you and your brother, what was that process like? Was it hard at first to write music, or did it kind of flow naturally?
At first, it was definitely different, and I, for myself personally, I'd say it was difficult to step into a place of, we listen to music, and even in church, we play these songs that are already written, and it's awesome. It's a great experience and it's powerful, but now you're sitting in the hot seat of making something original. And I would say it definitely took us having to step into a place of consecration unto God, and just really asking God, like, where do you want us to go from here? What do you want us to talk about? And I believe that was the initial, like, first step that opened the door for us to even start receiving, like, melodies or even ideas. And I know that a lot of the songs that we started writing came from personal experiences that we dealt with something, and God, He brought us through it, and then in that moment we just felt led to share those experiences in our songs and in our music. That was basically for us, even at the young age of being 17. Everyone goes through different things, and for us personally, we did deal with our certain situations, but thankfully God opened the door for us to be able to express that in song, and it was a really beautiful thing. Even listening back to it, you're like, wow, I know exactly what I felt in that moment, and just now it's a song, and it's just, it's different. So it kind of it makes the experience a lot different. And instead of reflecting it as like, oh, that was the worst time ever, now it's like, wow, in this song, God has revealed it to me, and allowed me to view it as more of a trial that shaped me into who I am today, and that has allowed me to grow so that I can move forward. So it's been pretty cool.
Like you guys said, you guys are twins. Just because you're twins doesn't mean that you think alike, right?
Yeah, true.
You guys said 17 is definitely that age where you're going through a lot of things mentally. You're growing. You're learning about life itself. I want you both to share your thoughts on this. When you guys went through those hard times, did you get a sense of giving up on this music thing? Did it bring you closer to it?
I do remember times when we were, I would say like 18, where we went through a time where we felt like giving up a little bit. There was a certain, trial that we were going through, and just feeling stressed, and we had also just started college. We graduated from high school, started college, and we wanted to continue making music, but we were still trying to figure out, what's next. And I do remember Simon and I both kind of wondering, are we going to continue doing this or not? And I remember God giving us a song called I Will Rise. And that song basically, I believe God used it to minister to us before it ministered to anyone else. Before us recording it and putting it out, God used it to really speak to us, to remember, that He's called us, that He chose us for such time as this, to not only write music, but to just, be a light in whatever way we can. And I do remember just clinging to the fact that, okay, this is something that we were made to do, and we can't stop, because it's not just about us. Yes, the songs minister to us, but we're so thankful for the times where we received, messages from people, saying, you don't understand how, this song spoke to me. I was going through this and this, but I listened to your song and it lifted me up. And just receiving those kinds of messages and hearing those kinds of testimonies after releasing something that God, gave to us, it really encouraged us to want to keep going and not give up, because it was bigger than us. It was going, past us and into, different homes and different minds, whatever age it was, but just, making a difference. So, yeah, I'm just thankful for that. And I guess I would say that the hardships that we went through brought us, first of all, closer to God, and then closer to what God wanted us to continue doing.
For me personally, I do have to say, like, we did have the moment, and even myself, I had the moment of not wanting to do this anymore, or just even aside from different trials or setbacks, there were times where it just felt like it was more difficult than actually helpful or even fun. And I'd say that that's a super dangerous place to be in, especially as someone who's creating. And I believe honestly that God, even today, like to this very day, is still, trying to work on creating, whether it's writing music or working on whatever project. But I believe God is continually just telling me, like, keep going, or don't be discouraged. But like, I'm in this, and as long as I continue to put God first and let Him be in the forefront of every project, of everything I decide to put my hands on, that's basically my motivation to keep going, because then I know, like, this is for me. Or even how Samuel mentioned, he said, like, this is something that's bigger than ourselves. I have to remind myself that this is for the Lord. This will always be for the Lord, and I believe that when God is in this, then it's going to do it's going to make a way bigger impact than I realize and that I could ever do myself. So yes, to answer your question, there were times of discouragement and even wanting to quit, but I have to remember why I'm doing this, and that is the push. That is the reason for continuing to work on projects, write music, and all that.
Amen. Oh, awesome, guys. Something I really do appreciate about your music is that it definitely sounds like it comes from a personal place. And hearing how you guys express that definitely allows me to even, it confirms what I was thinking while I hear your music. It definitely comes from a personal place. And I think that definitely helps music and art in general kind of elevate a little bit more. You both mentioned you guys served in the worship teams in your congregation. There's definitely a difference between, serving God in the worship team, and then suddenly you guys are artists, creators. What was the biggest change, and how have you guys maintained the focus to keep things on God? Because usually in the music world, there definitely tends to sometimes be that type of struggle with for fame versus for God. How have you guys maintained that focus as well?
I'd say just going back to, we have to remember why we're doing this, and in the end, that never changes. And one thing that actually, it's been this week specifically that I just feel like God is continuing to just speak to me, is just that I don't change. Like, I am God, and I know that in the word it says, for I am the Lord thy God, and I change not. And I have to remember, like, God is constant. He's faithful. He has always been faithful to us, and I have to remember that my purpose as a follower of Christ is that I'm here to serve God, and regardless of what happens, like that is still my purpose. Even if I, over the years things change, whatever happens, but that's the one thing that doesn't change. Like, life may change, throws a curveball at us, but I have to remember personally that my pursuit is in serving God. So I'm not here to chase money or even reach for the highest success. Those are doors that I believe, if God is wanting you to be successful in that aspect or way, then that's God's plan for you, and it'll come when you put God first. But that shouldn't ever be the focus. The focus is always setting my eyes upon the Lord, and just going from there, just trusting in Him and being a faithful servant.
What Simon said kind of sums it up, but at the same time, just to kind of add something, I believe that we always try to keep each other in check, even just maybe amongst each other, but also as individuals, keeping, our prayer life intact, making sure that we were, in connection with God, and just allowing Him to lead us and guide us. I remember so many times just praying, God, help me to stay humble, to not, ever get big headed, or, to not desire certain things, those are the kind of prayers that you got to pray, so then those things, don't start to, take over.
Right.
So I do remember just plenty of times just always praying that. And man, I just really feel like it was God always just keeping us and giving us that strength to never really, care too much about, us being, put on some sort of pedestal, or, having a certain level of success, in the music industry. Basically, our goal is always just to make sure that ministry is taking place, which, means that lives are being changed. And obviously it would be great to have like millions of, followers or something like that, because that means that you have more influence. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, if that's not what God has for you, just be happy with what you're doing at the moment, who you're able to influence at the moment, the people that are around you, even if it's just one person as long as you're doing, your best and doing the most that you can do, I believe God's honoring that. And as long as he's at the center of it all, like Simon was talking about, and I know how you were, mentioning to us earlier, that's really, the most important thing, that God's at the center of everything. And if that's the case, then nothing else is going to be able to, take over that.
I like how you said something, how you guys keep each other in check, definitely holding that accountability for each other. And I think that definitely allows growth, and it shows that you guys care for one another as well. Brothers fight. You guys ever had you guys ever had an argument over a song, over maybe like, hey, maybe the rhythm should be this way, or hey, maybe it should be done this way? How do you guys solve those resolutions?
Oh, it's definitely happened. I can't deny it. What's funny though is that Samuel and I, we both like a lot of the same things, but then we also do have our different styles. And so there are times where like he'll have an idea, or even me, and it's just like, oh yeah, we do like a lot of the same things, but that's definitely the thing that I'm not into, or vice versa. So I feel like we do have to kind of, for me, I definitely I'm trying still today, and I want to be less closed-minded, and if there's an idea of some sort, and if I feel like, well, like right off the bat, like I don't know, I want to give it a chance first. Like I'm gonna shut that voice up in me that's saying like forget it, no, or like I'm not into it. I want to give it a shot first. And I think a lot of the times that has been one of the greatest things for us, even to just to create, because then I never want to be able to limit the the flow that's happening, and just because of my own opinion. So I feel like that's one of the big things, is kind of just stepping back and letting it marinate for a second, and then going from there.
Simon, what about you? How do you perceive all these things? Do you agree with your brother?
No, I do remember plenty of times where, let's say, I was by myself and I wrote, some lyrics down. I had a melody, and I'd come show it to Simon. And one thing that I can appreciate is that Simon was always, brutally honest. And I was brutally honest in return, to him. So whenever he would come to me with any idea, I would not hold back. So sometimes I feel like I might have even been like a little too much, but I feel like that really helps the process, because it really causes you to rethink, okay, how can we really make this song, the best that it can be, and obviously putting it into prayer first. So that's another thing too, because imagine you pray and you ask God, Lord, lead me as I'm writing this song, and you finish it and you're like, God and I just wrote something nice. And then I come to Simon, and then Simon has something to say. I'm like, oh, so you have something to say about what God just gave me? No, yeah. But, and vice versa. I feel like we both had those moments where we kind of felt like a little bit, hurt or something like that. But we would always find, a middle ground. And I feel like God would always try to put us back together, and we would help each other, whether, we didn't change it and the other person just decided, you know what, I was wrong, or, we did make a change, and then, the song was better for it, because of the change. So yeah, we've had our moments where, and when we were little kids, yeah, we beat each other up and stuff like that, but
Those days are long gone.
Yeah,
it's different now. We're adults. So
yeah.
Moving forward, has the situation with the World Trade pandemic, has it affected any future projects? Are you guys working on anything right now?
Okay, so before the pandemic even started, really, we already had an effect on our, creative process, because Simon, he moved away to California before I did, like a year before I did, I think, or 2 years. 2 years, I think.
yes.
Yeah. So imagine, we used to be, living under the same roof, basically living in the same room, and we were, always together and able to just, hey, let's pick up the guitars and start writing something. let's jump in the room and start recording. And that obviously, you know, couldn't happen anymore because we were separated. But I do believe, you know, God allowed that to happen for a reason, for us both to grow as individuals. But now, in regards to the pandemic, it really hasn't affected us in the sense of you know, not being able to create. In reality, it's caused us to you know, be in close proximity, and you know, having the equipment that we have, where everything's pretty much portable. We can record anywhere we want. So you try to look at the good, you know, within a bad situation. That's one of the good things, you know, that came out of this pandemic, where, you know, we've been able to be in close proximity, and also just being stuck in our rooms. I've, you know, been able to just grab my guitar and start writing music, and then I'll send it over to Simon, or I'll just be able to walk over to him and sing it to him and show him, and then you know, try to, you know, figure out if we're gonna actually record it. And we actually do have something that we're about to release soon, hopefully. I'm not even gonna say the name of the song or anything, but we are planning on releasing something very soon, and that's something that we're working on, you know, currently.
Where can people find your content?
Well, we do have once again, our band name is the Sangary Brothers, and we are on all platforms, so Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, everything. So wherever
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud, yeah. So, wherever anybody decides or has their preference in terms of listening to music, they can find us on there. And then for social media, we have our Facebook page, and we also have our Instagram page. It's just Sangary Brothers. So if you're trying to find us, you can find us on there. We love to connect, so we're active on there.
Simon, Samuel, thank you guys very much for being part of Let's Talk. It was definitely a blessing to have you guys on. Looking forward to the future projects you guys are going to be releasing soon. And thank you for being on Let's Talk. God bless, guys.
Amen. Thanks, Richard. Love you, bro.